There seems to be this one piece of news that keeps coming up all the time since Xbox acquired Bethesda. It's the question that everyone has ready to ask once they interview anyone from Bethesda or Xbox, which is, will these games come to the PS5 and can we please know so we can plan accordingly? And I've got plenty of people asking me the same thing, and because of that, I decided to gather up a lot of information from multiple high-level executives from not only Xbox, but also Bethesda, to show you that games like Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and the next Doom, any game made by the first-party developers from Xbox, will be exclusive to the Xbox platform. And if you want to play these games, you'll have to either play them on the most powerful console in the world with the Xbox Series X, or you can buy a pretty awesome PC and play them there. But from what's said and what I gathered, these massive AAA games will be exclusive to the Xbox platform. And I didn't just grab random tidbits from random people around the gaming world. No, I grabbed direct quotes from Xbox executives from almost a year ago to earlier this year. Not to mention from Bethesda higher-ups that are talking right now about what the acquisition means. It's all brought together to show everyone that these games will be exclusive, and it's going to be a huge power move from Xbox to show they're in the gaming industry to dominate. They don't care about grabbing 10 to 20 million gamers on the PlayStation platform for a single game. They care about growing their platform and making those games exclusive to their platform, which if you paid any kind of attention to PlayStation fans for the last couple of years is the best thing for gaming. So everyone should be happy they have to go out and buy an Xbox console right now. They should be happy they have to invest in the Xbox ecosystem because it's something they've been asking for years now. But either way, let's get into these quotes and also talk about which games will be exclusive and which games won't be exclusive since they had some prior agreements. Either way, I'm excited to talk about Xbox in a positive light again, because not only did they buy one of the biggest publishers in the world, but they also did this because of the fans of Xbox, to show them they aren't leaving the gaming world for a very long time. So let's get into these articles and interviews that tell us exactly what Xbox plans to do with Bethesda games. But first, like always, if you liked the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Now, first I have to say that these are just quotes from top executives, and I'm making this video to show you that Xbox has talked about making games only for their platform before. And if you see what they've done with all their first-party developers minus Mojang, you can see that they want to make games for the Xbox platform only. So while this might not be truly confirmed by Xbox, I have a feeling we're going to see this be confirmed as time goes on, especially when the contract obligations for Deathloop and the Tokyo game are up. That's when Xbox will be able to talk freely about what each studio is doing and what it means for the future of Xbox. But to fill in the blanks until then, I wanted to grab a lot of quotes from multiple Xbox executives to give us a better picture of what to expect from Bethesda and all the other developers that are first-party Xbox studios. So the first person I want to talk about is Christopher Weaver, who is the founder of Bethesda, but has left the company over a decade ago. He was interviewed and asked multiple questions about the deal with Xbox, and since he can talk freely about the purchase, he had a lot to say. But more importantly, he directly brought up Xbox and how this is a move that shows Sony can't get these games from Bethesda. Here's what was said. The most interesting comment he made was in a question asking about the software arms race of purchasing studios and overall consolidation in the industry. Weaver had this to say: "I do not think it is any accident that this announcement occurred so close to Sony's PS5 announcement. There are only a limited number of proven creators of AAA. What Microsoft owns, Sony cannot get." This is him essentially saying that Microsoft purchased Bethesda to bolster their own first-party lineup and weaken what Sony is able to do. He also seemed to believe it was strategic timing to announce the deal a mere few days after the PS5 pre-orders and price announcement. Now, I know that Weaver isn't a part of Bethesda anymore, but I'm also not delusional enough to think he doesn't have any contacts in Bethesda or Xbox or around the whole gaming industry, which gives him a very specific way of looking at this deal. Because let's be real, what he says here isn't wrong. Does Xbox just want to take games away from the Sony platform? Of course not. They want to take games away from the Sony platform, Nintendo platform, Google, Apple, Tencent, and now Amazon. This isn't just about one company, but again, since most of these questions surrounding the exclusivity of these games comes from PlayStation-centric media types and gamers, it's the hot topic that people want to know about. So yes, he specifies that these games are probably not going to be on Sony platforms, which would leave the PS5 fans outside looking in with games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, some of the biggest and best games in the entire gaming industry. So that was just one top level executive who was formerly a part of Bethesda. But now let's move on to an Xbox executive who a lot of us know about. That's Aaron Greenberg, who was interviewed a year ago talking about the first party output from their studios. Yes, this interview is a year old, but again, it helps explain what Xbox's plan is for first party developers, which some people still need to accept is Bethesda now. Here's what Aaron Greenberg had to say about the Xbox platform and what to expect from Xbox Game Studio family. If in the future a studio comes to you with a pitch of a game that can benefit from being a multi-platforms, do you think Microsoft might consider allowing that? Aaron Greenberg, our internal studios are focused on making games for our platforms, Xbox and PC. We have a set of teams that are working on exclusive first-party games, and we don't plan to make changes to that. What I'm excited about is that we've added 8 new studios, and each of these studios that we acquired is working on multiple projects. There is going to be a lot of new games coming out on Xbox I think fans are going to be really excited about, and more than ever before, probably in the history of Xbox, that's incredibly exciting. Okay, so first of all, this interview happened last year in August, and while it's an older interview, I still found it's extremely relevant to what's being talked about today, especially since this whole discussion surrounds the fact that Bethesda is now an Xbox first-party studio, or what Aaron Greenberg called an internal studio. And from what we've seen right here, you can see that Bethesda will focus on making games for the Xbox platform, which is Xbox and PC. Now, I know a lot of people will come running in yelling, well, that means it's not exclusive because it's on PC. Haha. Well, if that's true, PS5 doesn't have any exclusives either, because for the next year or so, most of those games, if not all of them, will be coming to the PS4 and PS5, not to mention PlayStation has been porting a lot of their games to PC. I guess both Sony and Xbox don't have any more exclusive games, especially since Sony said they'll support the PS4 console for the next 3 to 4 years. Either way, you can tell from this quote, along with the former owner of Bethesda, that things are looking like everything is going to be exclusive to the Xbox platform. But now let's move on to Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, the man that made all of this happen and the guy that has truly taken Xbox into new heights. He was interviewed multiple times after the Bethesda acquisition by news media sites and a bunch of other outlets that really wanted to know about the exclusive deals that were in place. Because we all have to remember, people, this is the second biggest acquisition in gaming history, and it really changed the landscape of the entire gaming world. Games like Fallout and Elder Scrolls are some of the biggest games ever made, and to have those games and those developers exclusive to one platform sets that platform up extremely well, which the article talks about and even flat out asks Phil Spencer about the exclusive deals. Here's what was said. Talking with Yahoo Finance, Spencer was asked outright if Bethesda titles would be exclusives or if they would come to other platforms. He largely dodged the question, saying it would be a case-by-case basis, but did say that he saw the move as a huge get for Xbox Game Pass, which will see Bethesda titles on the service day one after the deals finalize, and that the Xbox community should see it as an investment in their ecosystem, and that he wanted that ecosystem to be the absolutely best place to play those games. But as the Xbox community, what they should feel is that this is a huge investment in the experiences they are going to have in the Xbox ecosystem. And we want the Xbox ecosystem to be absolutely the best place to play, and we think game availability is absolutely part of that. You can look at that statement several ways, but the part about the Xbox ecosystem seems to be pointing to the games being only in that ecosystem, though there are other ways it could be the absolute best way to play, from exclusive DLC to more technical aspects like resolution or graphical features. It was said that Bethesda will continue publishing games under their umbrella, but it remains unclear how much freedom that will actually equate to, though it did give some hope that the games could still release on Sony and Nintendo systems. While it still is up in the air, I wouldn't hold my breath about seeing the next Elder Scrolls or Doom on a competitor's machine. As you can see, this move was all about the Xbox platform. It's not about making amazing games available to your competitor. It's about bringing more people into the Xbox ecosystem. It's about gaining some of the lost ground Xbox had with this generation due to the debacle that the Xbox One launched at. We have to remember that Sony's PS4 was given a golden gift with the way Microsoft decided to launch the Xbox One console. They were easily going to win this generation, and because of that, it put Xbox in a very hard position. They had to fight back for every single inch they gave back to gamers, because they broke the trust of almost all gamers. And for years and years, Xbox was planning to earn that trust back with this next generation. And from what we've seen, it's working, because I know a lot of people that will come to the Xbox ecosystem just to play a lot of these Bethesda games. So while Sony's PS5 will sell a lot of consoles and they'll bring out amazing first-party titles, They won't have some of the biggest games ever made on their console because those games will be exclusive to the Xbox platform. And to close out this video with one more quote from Phil Spencer, I have to bring up what he said in April of this year, where he talked about exclusive deals and exclusive games. Here's what he had to say. It seems like when any game comes out, there's that, is this one going here or is this one going there? I'd rather be able to set more of an Xbox level expectation for our fans on where things are going to go. I thought we did that with our first party when we talked about games shipping on Xbox and PC. And that's everything I've gathered regarding the exclusive games coming to Xbox and what that means for Bethesda games, which I hope you enjoyed because I've gotten a lot of questions regarding this, and from what I've seen on other major news outlets and gaming outlets, they tend to think all these games are going to be multi-platform, and I just don't see it. I don't see a company spending $7.5 billion just to give 30% of a game sale back to its competitor. Instead, I see them making their own platform that much more appealing in the long run, not to mention with one fell swoop, Xbox destroyed the most annoying narrative they had, which is Xbox has no games. Looks like Xbox has too many games at this point. Either way, let's enjoy each and every single one of them day and date on Xbox Game Pass because that value is just insane. But enough of what I think about all this. Tell me what you think about all this. Are all Bethesda games going to be Xbox exclusive? Are you mad that they won't be on the PS5? Do you see any of the games being multi-platform? What can Sony do to combat this? Will Xbox use this to bolster more gamers onto their ecosystem? Is Bethesda going to sell even more Xbox consoles now? Does Sony have any RPGs like Bethesda and Obsidian Entertainment? Does this make you want to buy an Xbox Series X over the PS5? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I just finished Marvel's Avengers, beat the game, had a really good time with it. It was a lot of fun, and now I'm jumping into Mafia the Definitive Edition. I remember playing this game years ago when I was young on the PC, and I'm really enjoying the remake on the Xbox One X. The game looks pretty good, and honestly, the animations are a little rough around the edges, but again, there's not much to be played right now, and I'm really enjoying the Mafia game. I'm probably going to finish that during the week. But tell me what you're playing. Go down below. Are you working through your backlog? Are you playing Mafia, Avengers? What's everybody playing? Tell me down below and let's talk about the games we're playing. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.